Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It is Wednesday, June 29th, 2022, and we have your daily updates today. Today, I have a special guest. I have Ben from Bullring Crypto with us. He's going to be talking about Solo Nation and telling us a little bit about what he does. So, everybody, welcome Ben to the show. Ben, how's it going?
It's going good. Thank you very much for having me. It's great to actually hook up again. It's been a while, hasn't it, since we last spoke? So yeah, it's really, really cool to be on your show and to be talking about all these cool things that we're going to be discussing with your community today. Thanks for.
Yeah, we did a workshop, I think last year together. So it's good getting reconnected. Happy to see that you're also bullish on Solo Core. So every single morning I go over the prices real quick. So let me cover the prices real quick. So we have XRP sitting at 32 cents. We have Sologenic sitting at 24 cents. We have Corium sitting at 46 cents today. It is Wednesday, June 29th, 2022. So Ben, how long have you been, involved researching, paying attention to the Solo Nation community?
Actually, it's we're now looking at around about 3 months. As you know, that I've been sort of camped out on Stellar with a couple of projects over there. And then we started looking at branching out into the XRPL. And purely for the fact is, I think it's more of like a community aspect because of the size of the community on the XRPL is obviously, a whole lot bigger than what it is over on Stellar. I think Stellar is almost like seen as like a little brother, a little sister of the XRPL. And we said, well, we actually want to go somewhere where we've got more opportunity, where we can expand out, where we can make new friends, where we can build with different projects. So I started looking as just a kind of a side aspect to the project. Really, the project asked me if I could go and just start looking around, seeing what I can find with regard to NFTs, GameFi, different projects, different artists. So I went off around about March time, and of course I didn't stumble on you because I knew you were a commentator, and I thought, well, maybe this is a good place to start with having a look. And then I kind of started unraveling the whole Sologenics, Corium. It's like almost a pass the parcel, isn't it? Where you keep taking a layer off and then there's another layer and you take another layer off. And then the more I looked, the more it became like a personal crusade rather than one for the project. And I started thinking, okay, this is somewhere that I actually need to be on a personal level, independent to any projects, but trying to find out exactly what's going on. So yeah, that's been a pretty crazy 90-day period for me.
Well, I'm super happy to have you give your take on everything because I don't want this channel to be echo chamber. I've been filming solo updates every single day, and it helps get other people's perspectives and have other people to say, hey, yeah, this project is actually, like when both of us look at something and analyze it, we both come to the same conclusion, then it's like, that's healthy. So how long have you been in crypto in general? You've been in the space for a long time, correct? You're involved with some projects on Stellar, so you're actually in the
Yeah.
industry, so you have a good background, right?
Yeah, in 2017, I came in the springtime, a little bit before like the craziness of the bull run started. My friend had been pecking my head to come and look at Bitcoin, and was trying to tell me how it worked. And I think to most of us, it kind of blew our minds when we first heard about the concept of it and what it was designed to kind of to do in society, and I was thinking, can this actually work and all this kind of stuff. So cut a long story short, I saw lots of people were having challenges with coming into the space. And I wanted to position myself as someone that could actually remove a lot of friction rather than sort of commentating necessarily on a project and price and that kind of thing. I kind of position myself with helping people to navigate different aspects, setting up wallets, sending transactions, making simple processes, simple operations. So they didn't get caught out because we all know, being your own bank, it's very easy to make those kind of mistakes. So yeah, I position myself there, and that's that kind of educational role sort of manifested more and more for me. I then said, well, I actually want to be part of different projects. I want to be part of teams and help their communities to understand what they're trying to bring to the table. So that started really in like 2020. And then I stumbled across Lumen Swap on Stellar and started like, you know, working with those guys, and I have done for the last year. And then Drift Exchange, which is more of a GameFi NFT platform. So yeah, so kind of stumbled into the teams that are more of like a marketing and educational capacity, helping the community with a lot of short kind of micro videos where you know, people can access those, and within like 5 or 10 minutes they can understand something that we're doing that month, or where they're setting up a wallet or doing all this sort of regular stuff that we all do in the crypto space, but the new people find particularly tricky. So yeah, it's kind of led me into Stellar, and of course then Stellar, the natural kind of progression I think for me has you know, gone into the XRPL, and now like my mind's totally blown, but we'll come on to that shortly.
Yeah, so you're not going to find any clickbait type titles with Ben. He's a real educator. You have a Corium video that's about 45 minutes long, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. So you go deep. You go deep. I'm actually going to be excited to watch any other videos that you put out. So you go into the technical. I think one of your nicknames is Educator Ben, correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're an educator in the space, and that's why I have you on the show today. So what's the real reason we're here today? We're both super, impatient. Excuse me. We're both impatient. We're super excited for what's coming this afternoon. We're going to have a bunch of announcements. We have the technical white paper. We have the DevNet release plus documentation, the Transaction Explorer, all coming out today. So that's one of the things that we're excited for. Also, we have the tier 1 listing that could happen any moment for Sologenic. So let's first go into your NFT project. We talked a lot about XLS-20. Can you help educate us before we get into Corium? Let's talk about Solo a little bit. Can you educate us a little bit about XLS-20 and what that's going to bring to the NFT marketplace? Then I'll show everybody your NFT that you have coming out. And you told me you chose to wait till XLS-20 to mint these NFTs. I'm wondering, because I've never minted NFTs yet. So I'm wondering, you know, why did you choose that? And if you chose that, I'm assuming many other big people also are choosing to wait. So there's going to be a big storm that comes. But can you go into that? I threw a lot at you.
Yeah, I can touch a little bit. Of course, I think there's still a lot of it that we are really excited to learn. I think with the same with the Corium white paper, right? Where there's a lot that you and I as commentators are still wanting to dive into to understand fully. But at the minute, I think there's certain limitations. And that's because I think on both of the ledgers, when I'm talking Stellar and XRPL, the NFTs aren't native, right? It's kind of like almost a square peg in a round hole that's been created. It hasn't been like designed, you know, the NFTs haven't been designed specifically at the minute for the purpose. So there's things like making offers, there's things like commissions, there's things that are missing currently, and a lot of the GameFi and metaverse side of projects really need kind of smart contracts linking with the NFTs. They need a lot of these complexities, and what I don't want to do is blow your audience's mind with a lot of technical spiel, but essentially where we are now is very limited in relation to where we can be. Am I still there? Yep, I'm still here. Oh yeah, limited of where we can be in just a few short weeks. You know, we can take it to the next level. One of the things you're obviously showing the Corium shirt there, football shirt. One of the things that we want to do is like have a GameFi process with the NFTs. It's a little bit of a poor quality from on the screen at the moment. That'd be obviously a lot more. The definition would be a lot higher. But essentially, yeah, we want to bring in GameFi, so people, you know, partaking in football competitions and having, you know, the association with different brands, whether that's Corium, Sologenic, Xsticks, you know, all of the different XRPL projects that we know and love. They will be able to get behind those different shirts and those different brands. And then there will be competitions between the brands. And there's a lot of things that we need to be in place to facilitate these kind of intra-network competitions. So we decided that it would probably be best to wait until we're a little further down the line and we've got some more of these features and functionalities with XLS-20 than the current XLS-20 standard that we're seeing at the moment. Of course, another consideration for us is waiting until Corium. And the reason for this is there's going to be the native NFTs. So we're going to have native, the network is designed so that it's going to have NFTs natively on there, and they're going to have a lot of the smart contract capabilities and everything. So we're kind of toying whether we go, like 3/4 into XRPL, or whether we wait and we go all the way into sort of Corium side.
Well, so XLS-20 is going to be a game-changing for the XRP ledger, for the NFT marketplace. I'm excited for that. So we're talking about Corium now. We have the white paper coming out. I think me and you are going to do another episode when the white paper comes out to go fully, underneath the hood. Right now, all of our information is based off the Corium.com website. And they have architecture, they have a blueprint, they have use cases, lots of information. Supposedly this afternoon when the announcement comes, there's going to be an entire new website. There's also going to be applications for the developers that want to build on the layer one to, submit for grants. That's going to be exciting. We'll talk about that. But what are 5 things about Corium that really sparked your interest? 5 takeaways, some features that you could leave with the audience today.
Yeah, sure. No problem at all, Zach. The first one of those, I think, is the Solargenic connection. I think that just when you start looking at Solargenic, you and I have been in the space for a while, and, when you see a clean user interface, you see something that works, you see, the bridges and the card that's coming, and you see all of the team and how committed they are. When I've been on the calls with the team, they're a professional outfit. They're pushing boundaries every day. So just that connection of the two teams building these very different, an L1 on one side, the Solargenic kind of, bloody mega, construction project that they're building on multiple different fronts on the other side. And I think if they can extract a lot of the learning curves from Solargenic into Corium, so that's the first one, is that that interconnected team. I think, they've proved already they can build in the crypto space. They've proved already they can impress some pretty critical minds in the crypto space. And I know that Corium's going to come and it's going to tear things up. The next one for me is at this present moment in time is the price point. And I know you went through the prices at the start, and we looked and it was around about 46 cents today. I know it's been up over 50 the last couple of days. But then we're looking on CoinMarketCap, which is not giving us the true reflective figures, because that's showing us 100 million circulating supply. The actual reality of that is there has only been 5 months worth of airdrops to this day. We know there's 20% of the tokens at Corium that are dedicated to the solo holders for this airdrop over the first year. Now, if we work that out and we say over 6 months, then there's going to only be 50 million of those circulating. So what we can do immediately is we can halve that market cap straight away. So instead of it showing, I think it's around about 46 million, something like that, we're looking at 20-something. This is 20-something million market cap for an L1 that is going to be bringing around a hell of a lot of solutions. Yeah, a lot of solutions. We'll come on to that when we start talking about the white paper. I'm not going to go into too much details today. The third point for me is the WebAssembly smart contracts. I know that you're a big fan of Cosmos, Tendermint, and all of that, and we can talk about that as well by all means on any other show. But for me, you've got limitations when you're only coding in one language. So like with the EVM or Ethereum virtual machine, you're in Solidity. That limits your developers that you can bring in, because they would need to know that language. They would need to be able to code in that language. With WebAssembly, which has got, some of the dev side from Mozilla, from Google and other places, this allows the developers to code in a whole host, up to about 10 different languages, smart contracts. So straight away, you're opening out Corium to a whole host of different developers that can come in, that can start building dApps on that infrastructure. So I'm pretty passionate about that. Point number 4 is the deflationary aspect to the transactions. Each transaction that we know about at the minute, of course, this is only current as I'm speaking to you right now. Things can change with the white paper, but as I'm speaking to you, 20% of each one of those transaction fees is going to actually be burned. So what we're going to see is every transaction that is conducted on the Corium blockchain is actually going to be bringing down the supply. Every single one. The more popular that it gets, the more that deflationary model is going to kick in. And that also goes into the fact that where we've seen networks such as Ethereum, where they get network congestion. You know, with the crypto kitties back in the day, and it almost collapsed the network. Well, where you've got that network connection, there's going to be a balancing on Corium, where when it gets busy, the fees are going to come down because there's going to be this balancing model, and we'll talk about that as well when we talk about the white paper, and then the use cases. You know, I'm already speaking to like a metaverse project about bringing them to Corium. There's the NFTs and the GameFi that we spoke about before. We want to look at creating something, some kind of swap with rewards and automated market maker. You know, I'm speaking to some people about that to almost build like a whole ecosystem of different products on Corium, because Corium, as you've got here on the screen in front of you, has got so many cool features and functionalities. I mean, I've built out a whole trading card game, okay, called Vengeance Gaming, and it's all about ninjas and samurais and everything. We've actually got the physical game built. We've played it around the table. We're waiting for the network. We've been waiting and waiting and waiting for the right network with the low transaction fees, with the speed, so that a trading card game can actually be hosted there and the network can manage it. And finally, you know, we've mothballed this for 2 months because we just didn't have the network that we thought we were happy with 100%. Now we've got the network. So these use cases, I think, are incredible because it's not positioning in itself in just one area. I think there's going to be, you know, a whole host of different projects and developers just waiting, like myself, to come in to start building here.
That's exciting. That's exciting to hear everything that you just mentioned. And are you going to be, you know, applying for the grant program that comes tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm speaking to a developer right now about, you know, how we go about the NFT and the metaverse project will need an NFT marketplace. So I'm speaking with the developer whether we actually build an NFT marketplace to facilitate those projects on Corium. So yeah, we're going to first work out, you know, all of the different intricacies on exactly what we need. And then because this developer said, you know, I'm absolutely cool with coding in like C# or TypeScript or whatever, you know, all of these different WebAssembly languages that you can code in. He said that he's good to go. It's just us really putting our ducks in order to make sure, as we said, are we going with, you know, the XLS-20 on the XRPL? Are we waiting for Corium? I think we've just got to get the white paper, find exactly which route is best for us. But there's going to be a hell of a lot of development. There's no doubt about it, mate.
Yeah, and I, you know, have a theory that us stakers, like the people that are staking on the network, will actually be able to claim a bunch more airdrops beyond Corium just based on the development that's happened. Like if someone's building a project with the Corium grant money and they're building on this tech, like the stakers, I believe, will get another airdrop for that stuff. That's a whole nother conversation, but I'm a big fan. Everything that you said got me even more excited. I mean, yes, you mentioned I'm a big fan of Cosmos and the usability, the user interfaces are, you know, state of the art. It's going to be amazing, and it seems like if you look at the top 100 cryptos, there's tons of chains using the Cosmos SDK to build these layer ones. So this seems to be a big standard going forward into the future, and we're excited to see what projects you develop on and see you as a member of the community. Make sure you guys follow Bullring Crypto to stay up to date with all the happenings that he's involved with. And we're going to sit back and wait for the Corium white paper to be released today. That's going to be exciting. And we'll be back with another episode diving deep into the technical aspects of Corium. And Ben, are you okay with coming back and going deep into the technical stuff?
I would.
My audience actually loves going deep into the education side of things. So don't be afraid to bore us with the deep technical knowledge. I think people actually appreciate that. So let's do that for sure.
Yeah, I think
that,
that something that we can definitely do. As you know, we know that things are going to progress over the next couple of months. I'm more than happy to hook up every couple of weeks and just do a 5 or 10 minute video like this where we can kind of look at some of the things that are evolving and we can talk people through it, because I think for me, marketing and getting the word out there about Corium, it's important that we educate people, right, in a simple way, so that people can understand that it's not going to blow their mind, and we can take something quite complex and we can make it quite simple. So I'm more than happy, mate, to hook up whenever you've got some free time. I do appreciate being on your show. And as I said, let's talk about the technicals, and let's get dug into Corium, because I think it's going to be the network of 2020, of the latter part of 2022. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, yeah, I heard them talking about some of their plans, and they're saying institutions are planning to build on this tech. So yeah, this is going to be the big story of 2022, 2023. I think all the way till 2025, it's just going to be a powerhouse. So I'm excited. Bullring crypto, everybody. And just like he's saying, me and Bullring, me and Ben, we're not influencers. We try our best to be, I'm more of a researcher. Ben's an educator on the technical side. So we're more fans of being researchers and educators. So that's what we do here. Make sure you guys push subscribe, give us a thumbs up, follow Ben, and everybody. We'll be back later with the white paper news. Everybody, peace.
Take care.